Hello, and welcome back to the Boston Commune. This week's incredulous installment will feature commentary from Comrades Scott, Joe, Ellie, Sarah, and myself. In the first half, Joe's back, baby! Serving up some piping hot bullshit from the Biden and Baker administrations. I take us to the collapsed core of a conspicuous cluster in our corner of the cosmos. Ellie summons Cupid to put us in cuffs, and Scott tells you what to watch. In the second half, Sarah and I discuss our involvement in and experience with the Allston-Brighton Mutual Aid group. So please, do us a favor and share this content. Do yourself a favor and enjoy ya Epoch.
I mean, sometimes the problem with having your contradictions heightened is sometimes it does kill you. And sometimes it does burn your house down, and the firefighters can't do anything because there's, no water, but...
No, Joe, we're putting Crab Rave in.
Yes!
We're going to celebrate something. We're going to celebrate...
I don't know what it is.
We're going to celebrate one, it's Rush Limbaugh died, and two, it's Josh Gad's 40th birthday. I'm kidding. We're not celebrating that.
Some guy.
That's going to be my role in this. I'm going to be the what is it? The person? What do they call the person in the comedy who's just like, I don't know what's going on.
The straight man.
The
straight man.
Yeah, you can be the straight man.
The ambiguously queer woman.
Cool.
Dope. That's pretty much what the rest of us are.
No, I mean, like, it's
Also,
just, this is the straight man, but that's just, like, not, that ain't it. Is that what the kids say? That ain't it, Chief?
Jesse, does this sound terrible? Because I have stereo now. Is this terrible sounding?
Yes.
Or does it make me sound, like, louder than everyone else? You'll probably want
Neither. It doesn't
makes
sound
you
bad.
very far away.
It doesn't sound bad, and it doesn't make you sound, like, louder. It makes you sound...
Okay.
It's like you're in an aquarium, actually.
Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh my god, no.
What?
I'm kidding.
It sounds...
I literally, when I made that, I literally called it way too high-pitched and awful sounding, so...
Good. That's what it says on the box.
It sounds like a comb filter. It's like a nice sound effect, but not for talking. Maybe for singing.
I don't have, like, a pitch dial, unfortunately. I have to, like, make everything.
It reminds me of, like, that's, like, the exact opposite of what I wanted for when I was when I had a brief stint of really wanting to be good at first-person shooter multiplayer games. And I was like, that I was afraid people would make fun of me because I'm a female. And then, but I didn't do that because I just stopped playing.
You wanted
don't be
shifter.
Yeah, don't be creeps online, folks. If you're playing with people who are not of your identity, don't be creeps about it, guys. Come on,
dude. Scott, what did you do to your sound? Because now it's like.
Wait, are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Why does it sound so chunky?
The magic of editing.
What do you mean it sounds? What the fuck do you mean it sounds chunky? What is that?
It does sound chunky.
It's like you're clipping.
I got some thick sound now.
It's like you're clipping, but your volume isn't changing.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can find out.
It sounds like you have too much shit open.
The news is pretty much all depressing besides Rush Limbaugh. I mean, Henry Kissinger still hasn't died, so I guess it kind of cancels it out.
I don't know about that. I think we can have our moment here.
Well, I'm not really old enough for him to have that much of a impact for me, personally.
But you're a history major.
I am, but, like, everyone's, like, excited because they have, like, the lived experience of, like, seeing how much of an asshole he is for themselves.
Jesus Christ, dude. There could be, like, a proletarian revolution. You sound better. There could be, like, a legit proletarian revolution, and Joe's gonna be standing in the corner like, yeah, but
Henry Kissinger isn't dead yet!
That's what we keep him around for.
Motherfucker, I knew you were gonna say that.
I would celebrate a proletarian revolution. It's just that, like, he's a truly heinous war criminal, like one of the worst of the post-war era.
Just like, it's not a real proletarian revolution.
Until Henry Kissinger's dead.
Unless Henry Kissinger dies.
Here we go.
My line would actually probably be Elon Musk, but that's because I feel like I have a vested interest in, like, killing Elon Musk, given that he, like, on several occasions has has casually suggested that we just commit genocide on all people on the spectrum. So usually if a megalomaniacal rich guy suggests committing genocide against your people, the proactive thing to do is usually make sure that person isn't able to kill you first. Historically
just
speaking.
outdoes himself over and over. I didn't even need any more reasons to hate him. And here we are.
Because he keeps saying that he wants to, quote unquote, fix people on the spectrum. Historically, when people say they want to fix other people, it means they want to kill them.
Or castrate.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Or
put them in bondage.
That's genocide.
Season 2 of The Nick is about this. If just dropped on HBO Max, you should watch it.
Now I have to watch it because that actually sounds really good.
The Nick, it's about early medicine in 1900 New York. It's very good.
Also,
it's about the creation of therapy. Actually,
cocaine, or was it something else?
Fucking cocaine and morphine and opium and life. That motherfucker ruled.
Good TI.
This is all we are. You'll understand that when you finish the show.
Good TI EP. Also, the Nick.
Oh,
makes my breakfast of ADHD medication and strong coffee look kind of weak.
Yeah, pussy.
Yeah, add some pussy and a cigarette. There you go.
No, I said yeah.
Wait, I had the latter today, so.
Then your breakfast will be less weak.
All right,
segue.
Go. Let's keep the depressing train go. Let's keep the trolley problem going. Everybody on the track, though.
When you pull the lever, it changes the color from red to blue.
Should I just wait for you guys to be done, or
Joe? I literally told you to go.
Barrel
and
into it.
And then you interrupted me. So this week, 500,000 Americans are now dead from COVID. In Texas, a bunch of other people are dead for other reasons. In Massachusetts, our state government seems intent to continue its war on the population's continued existence, and Massachusetts issues further proof that it is inhabited largely by morons. Our president this past week explicitly said on national television, I'll explain. Our president explicitly said on national television that he refuses to eliminate $50,000 of student loan debt because reasons. And as we already mentioned, Henry Kissinger still isn't dead yet. Welcome to this week's Epoch.
Hey, welcome to the show.
So I will explain. Also, the minimum wage is starting to make some stuff.
Yeah, and also we haven't gotten the $2,000 they promised. Bitch, better have my money.
Oh, yeah, we're never getting that at this rate. So the House actually made some moves yesterday. I put it in the chat this morning if anybody bothered to read the 590-page document that I put in the link. House...
Would these moves, Joe, would these moves be considered money moves or no?
Yes.
This is very important.
They were actually money moves because the House Budget Committee consolidated all of the recommendations in committee level bills from all the other committees that have jurisdiction. Because when the bill first went out, it was sent out to all the committees in the House that had jurisdiction over this stimulus package, like Ways and Means, Energy and Commerce, and so on and so forth. And the House Budget Committee took all of those things and consolidated it into a single bill that will be used as the reconciliation bill that will be then used as the vehicle for ramming it through the Senate. And it's been called the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. And it has the $1,400 checks. The current bill as written,
the how
reconciliation
much?
Bill, has a $15 an hour minimum wage bill that will eliminate the tipped minimum wage, which is the $2.13 an hour wage that restaurant workers make. So if this bill were to pass, that would be eliminated and restaurant workers would be making the same minimum wage as everybody else.
Fuck yeah.
Get ready for a bunch of people to justify not tipping anymore. Just saying.
Oh, we're already there.
Yeah.
So the Congressional Budget Office, which actually for reasons passing understanding is still run by a Trump appointee, even they came to the conclusion in their report that this minimum wage hike would raise 900,000 people out of poverty, give an estimated 32 million people a raise, and also stimulate the economy to the tune of $333 million a year.
It's the deep state, folks.
However, again, grain of salt because of
So Joe Manchin, who's being the fuck about it?
Yes, they say the 1.4 million jobs we lost, but this completely ignores basic understandings of economics that if you give people more money, they will buy more shit, and that will lead to more demand, and that will lead to more jobs because there'll be more money to spend on labor costs. And Joe Manchin has said that he supports a $11 minimum wage.
Isn't it already $11? Or something?
it's $7.25 an hour.
But isn't like something like his state is already like there?
No, that's where Joe Manchin says he's willing to as far as he's willing to go in his state. Mitt Romney came out with a $10 an hour minimum wage proposal today.
What? Mitt Romney? Okay. I guess I have to take back the thing I said last week where I said that Mitt Romney seems to understand that you need to give people money. But
well, I mean, he's the Republican. If
yeah, but
conservative Democrats saying $11 an hour, fine, we'll offer $10 an hour.
He understands that you have to give Christians money.
Yeah, his conservatism, like he still has some progressive ideas.
Mormons, dude.
But it's about Mormonism. I know. Yeah, it's Mormons, what I said last week, yeah.
All about those Mormons. Always and forever.
I mean, that's why he voted to convict Trump. It wasn't about, the goodness of the heart. It's because Mormons had never liked him.
Because he couldn't...
It's a calculated decision.
Because he couldn't pull off that pair of jeans.
So yeah, the minimum wage would be great. Whether it makes it through the Senate is unlikely because 7 Senate Democrats have said to varying degrees that they don't support the minimum wage hike. Because you have Kirsten Sinema and Manchin who are hard-nosed. John Hickenlooper last week said it wasn't worth the effort. And then you had Schatz, Bennett, Kelly, and Murphy, who all said some things along the lines of, well, it would be nice if we could do it, but there are more urgent things to do. There are more urgent matters at hand, which essentially means I don't want to do it.
Yeah, walk and chew fucking gum. Am I right?
We're supposed to, walk and then choke on the gum. Apparently, Mike Bennett isn't capable of walking, breathing, and chewing gum at the same time.
You gotta walk, you gotta breathe. You gotta chew the gum.
You could trip, dude. Come on. It's fucking, I don't know. It's risky. I don't know if I would do it.
Too many things.
Walk and chew gum. What?
Also, it's really sad when everyone's coming out against the minimum wage. When the fucking Fed chair, the Federal Reserve is not a bastion of proletarian agitation, but even the Fed is the Federal Reserve Chair went before the Energy and Commerce Committee this morning and was yeah, we should raise the minimum wage because that will inject economic growth.
Socialist, communist, Democrat, Federal Reserve.
I mean, the Fed is one of the few institutions in our government left that are run by people who actually know what the fuck they're doing. But still, they don't really have our class interest at heart. And even when the Fed is yeah, actually, we should be pumping more money into the economy because it's still in shambles. Because, Pat Toomey asked him some stupid question about inflation, and he's motherfucker, inflation isn't the problem right now. The problem is that 10 million people are out of work.
You said motherfucker?
No, I'm paraphrasing.
Oh.
People at the Federal Reserve don't talk like that.
Motherfucker.
They're boring and stale as fuck.
It'd be great if that were a senator's literal name. Then he'd be it's Mather Fouquet.
I mean, John Kennedy asked him.
Hooker is actually what it is.
John Kennedy asked him asked Powell if he was cool with the $1.9 trillion stimulus package, and he's I'm not answering that question.
Again, did they say that they were cool? Did he actually ask if they were cool with it, or
yes, he did.
Verbatim?
Verbatim?
Yes. This is the same senator who said last week at a confirmation hearing that Neera Tanden called Bernie Sanders everything but an ignorant slut.
Really impressive how shitty it is.
I've always been fascinated by John Neely Kennedy because, yes, his politics sucks because he's a Republican, but he's always been an incredibly colorful person.
Was he the dude who was you have to swear on the Bible? Was he that dude?
No, that was someone else.
All right.
Yeah, you gotta stand on the Bible and go, tits.
While chewing gum and breathing.
Yeah, God, it sounds very complicated to be a senator. To be honest,
yeah, you really got to be able to multitask.
I don't know.
I mean, John Ossoff somehow managed to become a senator, so I mean, anything is possible at this point.
I mean, look, he looks like he has the ability to walk, chew gum, and breathe at the same time.
He looks like he's 12.
A 12-year-old can very easily walk, chew gum, and breathe at the same time. I'm an old man, Joe. How do 70-year-olds do it? Did you fucking stay consistent with the joke?
Would you be consistent, Joe? With a joke. With a narrative.
With the story.
Love you, Joe.
I don't know
why you're trying to sound like you're from Long Island. Okay.
Hey, what?
So I'll finally explain what I mean by Massachusetts is a state filled with morons and is also intent on killing its own population. So
I think I know what you're about to say.
On Friday, the Baker administration said that it was well on its way to its goal of vaccinating 4.1 million people in Massachusetts. The problem,
motherfucking lie. That was a lie.
The problem with that is that 4.1 million is less than 6.9 million. In fact, the Baker administration essentially said that they only plan to vaccinate 59% of the population. The other 41% are basically just fucked.
Yep.
Is that 6.9 million include like children?
Yes.
I was trying to find an article that said what they had said in this statement. I was trying to understand if this was like, with their current supply, we can only hit 1.4 million, or if that's like our goal, and if we go beyond that, that's cool. Like, I wasn't really sure what this kind of meant, honestly.
If we go beyond our goal, that's cool.
It means that they only intend to get to 4.1 million because apparently the Baker administration has concluded that herd immunity is 60%. That we only need to... The Baker administration has concluded that they don't need to bother vaccinating 40% of the population because...
Blink-182 listening to, motherfucker.
Seriously.
God damn it.
Let's all go to the fucking state house and make...
That's why I think this is so appalling, because they're like,
let's just crank Dude Ranch the entire time and be like, Travis Parker sucks.
Yup.
Also, like, the vaccination rollout.
I mean, no, yes. Travis is much better than Scott, and it's unfortunate that he was an alcoholic as well. I mean, and like, the history of we are now Blink 155. Yeah, we just turned into Blink 155. Sorry, Joe.
It's not even like this has been like we don't give a fuck about like vaccinating 40% of the population. Like 2/3 of the people who have been vaccinated are white, and you only plan to vaccinate like 60% of the people who live in the state.
I'm gonna look up some statistics right now.
Yeah, how many white people are there in this state? I know the answer is a lot. I just want to know how many.
Last I checked, it's in the ballpark of about 75 to 80%.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Right. So then, what's your point?
Well, so far. But, like, the problem is that people are getting vaccinated largely in, like, really wealthy places because those are the areas that are able to afford the vaccines. So, basically, this is just pushing down, like, lower-income people even further than they were already.
It's a very interesting word in that sentence.
What, pushing?
No, you said afford. Meaning that why is anyone being charged for the vaccine, including states? Like, what the fuck?
Well, hospitals. Yeah. Hospitals are the ones buying the vaccines.
Okay, why do they have to buy it? Why aren't they getting it for free? It's a fucking pandemic.
Because we live in a capitalist society where
the invisible hand. Because the invisible hand.
Correct. Yeah, that's a more eloquent
way. Because it knows. Because you can't.
Another impediment to us actually figuring out this fucking problem. Yeah,
the hand knows where.
As I like to remind everyone, we're the healthcare state. Partners Healthcare is the number one employer in the state, and as of yesterday, 15,534 people in the state have now died. But we're the healthcare state.
Magically,
yeah.
Delicious.
And what's even more depressing is that Charlie Baker's actually gotten more popular since.
How? Because it listens to Blink 182, that motherfucker.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Our administration's been clear for months that the best place for kids is in the classroom.
The Massing polling group released a new poll this morning. Baker's approval rating is at 74%, only 20% disapprove, and the real kicker is 71% of Massachusetts residents approve Baker's handling of the pandemic. Baker's approval rating is actually up 2% since December when the rollout began. He's somehow gotten more popular since the rollout. I don't even know how this is possible, which is why I believe that Massachusetts, as much as I love my home state, is a state that is inhabited largely by morons.
I don't like that he killed my grandma, but he has a strong defense of the self-titled, so, you know.
What's also more depressing is that, like, Baker is actually more popular with Democrats than he is with Republicans. Because in this poll, Baker has an 86% approval rating among Democrats, whereas he only has a 62% approval rating among Republicans. He's quite literally more popular with Democrats.
Or cucks. Or their cucks.
My home state is populated by morons, too. Seems like you just can't get away from them.
Also, if we're the healthcare state, then what's the non-healthcare state? I'm frightened to be an adult who has to get my own healthcare in a different state.
Delaware?
Like that state you enter and they just give you a disease.
Yeah, disease state.
Delaware's like the tax haven state. I mean, that's their thing.
Yeah, but there's a lot of insurance in Delaware as well. There's a lot of insurance.
Florida.
The disease state would be a good band name, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not the deep state. We're the disease state.
Disease state.
I was wondering about the polling because, like, I don't know how many old people are they polling. Like, is access to the poll contingent on you? Like, are they calling people or are they getting people to like click a thingy on a screen?
It's always going to be more heavily weighted toward people who have fucking house phones.
Yeah, landlines.
Old people.
Actually, I looked at the top line specifically, and this was a composite poll, which means that it's a hybrid, which means that they called people on the landlines and they did it online. They did both. They also called people on their mobile phones. So that's
interesting because from what I understand from a couple weeks ago, people were very upset when they rolled out like the kind of the free for all for the vaccines for like over 75. But then there was no phone number you could call. You just had to use the website that was like broken. And for older people, that's not great. I think technology literacy is not always great. So I don't know what the heck they were thinking with that.
What's a JPEG?
Bobby, the internet's broken again.
What the hell is a PDF file?
Bobby, stop breathing and chewing gum and walking. Come help me with the computer.
Damn it, it's frozen again. Get the hairdryer.
Well, you see, never mind.
Wow.
I mean, the internet is running too slowly. He just unplugs the router entirely. It's like, it was going too slowly. I'm like, what are you doing?
How strange is it that we put like a monetary value on actual life itself?
Oh my God!
Wow, it's a
joke.
It's such a
Is that the one that
strange
concept? You guys talking?
Yeah.
Yes, I do actually.
Did you see that guy accidentally hit that moose with his car?
No.
Holy shit! Can you pull a video?
What is?
It's the quintessence of a Joe Rogan episode.
It's like
yes, that was the clip that Hobbit thought was us just talking to them.
Oh God damn it, Joe! It was so close.
Continuing on the theme of Massachusetts being insane,
ordering the schools.
The education commissioner said today that the
fucking first thing I read on Twitter this morning.
The Boston Globe reports that the Baker administration is calling for Massachusetts elementary schools to be in school 5 days a week starting in April.
Fuck them kids.
Why? What is
because
the
fuck them
justification
kids.
for this? Because Biden said everybody should go back to school, and now all the blue state Democrats are being like, well, it's time to go back to school. Time for all the teachers to die because we haven't vaccinated them yet.
My old roommate said she had a dream where she was helping Joe Biden do chemical experiments to fight climate change, and he grabbed her butt and she yelled at him.
Sounds about right.
I bet that happened to somebody.
Does this person regularly have dreams of Joe Biden?
No, but she does regularly have very vivid and detailed dreams, which she tells me about.
Poor kids smell just as good as white kids.
Yep. So Massachusetts is a cock state.
Mm-hmm.
It is, which is depressing because we're supposed to be like one of the less shitty states to live in.
Allegedly.
Wow.
If this is like the high end of like the bar, like where the standard is, how shitty must it be to live in like Arkansas or
Florida.
like Nevada?
This is the high end of the bar. It's a crazy game of limbo. Hey.
Does Minari take place in Arkansas? Arkansas looks pretty nice. I don't know.
It's at the top of the alphabet, okay? And it's also pretty low at per capita GDP, so if we're supposed to be the nice state.
That's the official motto.
Who the fuck called us the nice state?
Minari takes place in Arkansas. It's a nice looking state.
Well, Massachusetts
also go see Minari. It's a good movie.
Massachusetts does have like the highest average like unemployment insurance per person.
So do you have any more news for us this evening?
Yes.
Oh my God, I thought you would say no.
Jam-packed. He's jam-packed full of news.
It really is just a train line of bodies. Yeah?
Car of news. Joe the clown car.
So on Wednesday night...
It's a fire hose of information.
So Wednesday night, Joe Biden went on national television.
I'm being sprayed with a fire hose of evidence so much I can't even handle it.
I'm being waterboarded by this information.
So Joe Biden went on national television for a CNN town hall, and man, I haven't seen him like.
Oh, he ate shit really bad. Yeah.
I think this is like the first time they like actually let him out in public without his minders, really, for like, since he got elected, or really since the Democratic primary in general, because like clearly they didn't give him enough Adderall, and he was asked by
2 coffees now. I'm ready to rumble, Jack.
He was asked by this woman, which is really like insane. Like, just goes to show how true the callous he is. Because in the sentence before, he's like,
guy.
"I see all of these economic pain and all this suffering, and we should do something about it." And the woman asking him the question goes, "So, are you prepared? Like, what can you do to make getting rid of $50,000 of student loan debt happen? What can you do? Like, what will you do to make that happen?" And he goes, "No, I am not willing to make that happen. I am not going to make that happen. I am not going to make $50,000 student loan debt cancellation
Make me so
happen."
angry I shit myself, but I'm wearing Depends, so it's okay. I got a condom on.
So it's not enough that like he created a system that is immiserated 40 million student debtors, but now has the nerves to condescend to us to be like, we're asking for too much. We're asking for you to fix the thing that you fucked up in the first place 20 years ago.
Do you think there's like different regiments of drugs that they make Biden take, like given what his answer should be? So it's like, you're going to go out there and you're going to deny, and you're going to be like, fuck you little kids, fuck them kids, you know, and you're going to say like, oh, we did it all in the 60s and all this shit. Do you think they give him like the good drugs, and then like when he's home, they give him like, it's just like horse sedatives? Like...
The blue ones today.
He just goes in a crowd.
Jill, where are all these people? Where are the green ones?
Jill, bring me the purple ones, thank you. It's my all-purpose dopey politician.
Oh, Jack?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Jack.
Yeah, Jesse gets that you gotta sound slightly like out of breath.
Yeah.
Gotta rough him up a little bit.
Just gotta like breathe out halfway and then talk.
Yeah. Back in my day.
It's a depressing thing, though. Texas.
77-year-old with no brain, I mean.
Throw snowballs at all the stray dogs.
What was his name? A snowman. He was a best friend. And then he melted.
He was a snowman.
I didn't know what it was.
Brown acid.
And I said corn pop. And I love kids jumping on my lap. Still the weirdest thing he's ever said.
Oh my god. What about Texas, Joe?
So Texas is finding out the hard way that the invisible hand of the market doesn't really know what to do when confronted with the actual problem.
You know what the invisible hand of the market
Joe called me a doomer
Texas?
when I shared this on my fucking stories, asshole.
Dude, you fucked up my delivery so bad.
Sorry, go.
So currently, about 7.9 million
let me
people.
Let me do my
Joe. We love you. Let me do.
Stop saying that every time you try to shush me. It's getting weird.
You know what the invisible hand of the market is doing right now?
What?
It's jerking off.
I knew it.
I knew you were going to say that.
I knew it. Joe, I like that your objection to us telling you we love you is that it's weird and not that it's empty and we're going to be douchebags to you again in the future.
You're the one who said it, like...
We do love you.
I love you. I love you.
I love you.
Okay, this is freaking me
Care
out.
Bear.
Stop.
It's not like Care Bear. What's the one? Is that what it is? So a toy I had when I was a wee babe was like sound like that.
Wee babe.
Yeah. I've been saying lest.
It's a toy I had when I was a wee babe.
I've been saying strange turns of phrase, like using lest frequently in my daily like work correspondence. I don't know why.
That's a good one though. Lest we find that
Scott has too many Instagram stories.
My favorite is heretofore.
I'm gonna go. Could give you an Indian burn.
Can you give you some
Excuse me, an indigenous
burn?
That's
right. I'm sorry. God damn it! Cancel me.
Can you just cancel it out?
Boom. Cancel.
Get out, Jesse.
Fuck out of here. This is like week 4. I've been canceled.
Scott is just waiting to get uncanceled.
Not happening.
Not on my watch.
I'll say this. I'll give you some rugs. Is that better? No, that's not better.
Some smallpox blankets.
That's actually probably worse.
Well, I made myself the villain in that regard. I don't know. It didn't work. How about this? I'll give you a big hug until you tell me to stop. Is that better?
I mean,
both effective and fair.
I mean, in the sense that you're not being canceled, but it doesn't make it any less weird.
Yeah, it's only going to be weird for you. That's why.
Oh my god!
Oh shit!
I totally lost the plot.
This warm, just it's so nice. What? Sorry, Joe. Talk about Texas.
Strange individual. Moving on.
What the fuck?
Back to Texas.
You've been on this podcast with me for 6 months. Of course, anyways.
I'm teasing you. Get over it.
We should let Joe tease us more.
So, almost 8 million people are still struggling to have consistent access to water in Texas because the power grid has basically failed because Texas is the only state in the country that does not actually share a power grid with other states.
What?
Back in 2004, Texas completely privatized its energy grid. It's the only state in the country with a privatized energy grid. They completely deregulated the entire thing and let it be run according to the whims of the market. And so what inevitably happens in a free market system, everything goes to shit because all the corners get cut in pursuit of greater profits. And so when a real shock to the system happens because there aren't regulations, Massachusetts doesn't actually, in the sense, it doesn't have private grids in the sense that, like, there are still some basic regulations that must be followed.
But they're privately owned, i.e. the substation in Eastie that they just approved, which I'm not happy about that.
But what I mean by, like there is literally no regulations, basically, for Texas's power grid.
Literally the Wild West. Keeping the spirit alive.
So there's no, like, safeguards in place for, like, when shit hits the fan like it did in Texas. And they had to basically shut everything down because they never had to deal with the situation where they have to, like, be able to manage, like, the power outages.
That's not true. This happened 10 years ago. This exact same fucking thing happened 10 years ago.
Instead of trying to do rolling power outages, they just kind of shut everything down. Instead of, like, spreading it out.
The same thing happened 10 years ago. I'm telling you. 10 years ago, the exact same fucking thing happened. And the feds said, you guys need to fix this so it doesn't happen again. And they said, no.
LOL.
LOL.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah.
It's like they were trying to hold like a mug full of tea that was like too full, and they trip on something, they spill the tea on their face, and they shit themselves.
It's because they were trying to chew gum at the same time.
Yes.
Keep coming back to this.
Yes, I'm not gonna let it die.
I was going to say, when that was first mentioned, that reminded me of that really dumb, I don't know even what to call it. It wasn't like a scary story. I guess it was a joke, but it was like the thing where you pull off somebody's like earbuds and then they stop breathing and they die because the tape was telling them to like breathe in and out or something. I don't know what that was.
Listening to that all the time.
It's a creepypasta that I don't know about.
No, it's not even a creepypasta. It's just like something like I don't even know what to call it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
That happens to be like pretty much every time I talk.
Yeah.
This is why I write out my rabid rad libs. Which I don't have.
Oh no.
So Joe, continue.
Yeah, so Texas is fucked and probably not going to be unfucked for a while. Because if they were only connected into one of the other two main power grids that, provide the energy needs for the rest of the country, they could just be able to tap into another state's power grid for electricity needs, but they aren't connected to any other state's electricity grid for reserve power. Because that would require adhering to some basic regulations. And the capitalists running Texas love the freedom to run rampant over everybody so much that they can't be bothered to do that.
Texas has embarrassed itself so fucking badly over the years by trying to skirt regulations.
I saw this one story in the New York Times, like this guy in Texas, yes, he didn't lose any power, but he got handed like a $16,000 utility bill.
Yup.
I saw like a $212,000 one.
That's not a real number. I don't believe that.
I mean, it was a photo. Could have been a fake, but
it's not a number.
Yeah, nope. It's not real like the snow.
It's not.
Did you guys see that?
It's like birds.
What?
It's like birds. Birds not real.
People were saying like, I'm holding up a lighter to this snowball that I've compacted, and the snow is getting black on one side, and it's not dripping.
Only in fucking Texas. I was in rehab with this kid.
The snow is made of oil.
This reminds me of one of my favorite stories about Congress was back in 2014, Senator Jamie Langford of Oklahoma walked into the floor of the Senate and holding a snowball. And he basically goes, "Behold, a snowball. This means climate change isn't happening." Because
I knew you were going to say that.
Snowball.
Say that, and now Jesse has to say his thing.
I was in rehab with this kid from Florida, and there was like one snowflake in the air, and he was like, "Is this a blizzard?"
Oh, that kid's adorable, though.
Like that anime meme with the butterfly.
Yes.
Does this mean communism?
But the other thing I was going to say is, do you guys know about what happened in, I think it's New London, Texas, in like 1937?
Tell me.
So there was like an elementary school. There was kind of an influx of manual labor into Texas, and like the families of these kids didn't have anywhere to go to school. I meant to say that the kids in these working families didn't have anywhere to go to school. So school was built, and instead of using like any kind of safe or legal methods of heating this school, they tapped into the gas line and just connected.
No. Oh no.
And they connected the gas line. They connected the gas line to their own. They had one heater in the basement, which was in an enclosed space, mind you.
Oh my god.
One day there was a big boom, and a bunch of children's body parts flew all over the place, and none of them survived. They all fucking died.
That's awful.
Amusing, but it is.
Oh, I was.
So that's Texas for you. They really haven't changed in like over the last century.
Texas is the reason.
I was going to say that sounds like a Simpsons joke, but then it got really dark.
Oh, yeah,
actually, Simpsons jokes get pretty dark, so it still sounds like a Simpsons joke.
By the way, I am listening to Texas is the reason right now. Joe, any more stories?
Joe,
Emma stories?
Joe, more stories.
Hey, Joe, what's the stories you got?
Hey, Joe, where's stories? Joe.
Can you give me
like an Italian accent?
Can you give me some stories under the table? I haven't gotten any all day. Clone High reference. No, in Clone High, it was Gandhi, and Gandhi was obsessed with getting high fives, and he was asking Abe Lincoln, "Can I get some high fives under the table?" I haven't had any all day. Not gross. Fuck you.
That made sense, but okay.
Clone High, dude.
I used to watch that with my old roommate.
The Tom Green episode. Plastic bag. Joe, you would identify with that.
Before my
time.
time.
ADD. It's about it. That episode's about ADD. You would identify, anyways.
I don't think I have anything else to add. That's about it for now.
Can I add something?
Wait a second. That episode's where the gif of...
Oh, Sarah said they had something to add.
Oh.
I was just gonna say, like, the Texas thing. Like, I wasn't really paying attention to the news because I was really busy last weekend, or not last week, the week before that. But then, so like last week, I was at work. Somebody who was in Texas who was affected by it, like, lost their power for one day, and so then they weren't there, and somebody had to like take over what they were doing. And then the next day they came back, they called me for something else, and I was like, "Oh, hey, how's things going there? By the way, like, do you guys have like water and stuff like that?" And their response was kind of like, what it was basically saying is like, "Oh yes, we're fine now. I'm able to do work now." And it was like, I just cared about like that you were okay. Like, I don't, that just kind of made me sad, I guess. I was just trying to ask like how they're doing, if things are okay, and then they were like, "Yes, things are in optimal functioning order."
Are you emotionally stable?
Yeah.
Yes, I
have made it to my
desk. A lot of employers in Texas aren't compensating people for like if they have to miss work. For example, like the city of Dallas is requiring its employees that aren't able to work because they lost power, or, like, can't get to work, either to like have to take unpaid sick leave. They don't have sick leave. They have to take their vacation days, or they have to just work for free, basically.
Ugh.
The vacation is when you sleep in your car, and the sick days are when you get sick from sleeping in your car.
Or the third option is you barely get home and get like 4 hours of sleep and then come back to work. That's like the staycation.
But you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, Joe.
That's where the unhealthy amount of coffee comes in.
Ah, okay. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Wow. Oh, I like the shirt that you're wearing today, by the way.
Aren't you wearing a coffee I must have shirt?
Yes.
Like, what does it say? Yeah.
Coffee I need or kill you I will.
Oh, that's much darker.
Yeah, I didn't see the bottom part on the Zoom.
Thought it was just some Yoda shit.
Yeah, it was like a little picture of Yoda there or something. Oh well.
Yeah,
but no, Joe is just a hardcore murderer.
If I don't get my coffee, I'm gonna murder you.
By eating eggs. Yep. Actually, it's cool.
Yep, that's true. We established this in a prior episode.
Exactly.
He takes hostages and also murders people.
Yeah, and he eats unfertilized eggs and causes massive genocides.
Yep.
So
just like Baby Yoda,
Agent of Chaos.
Just like
we got ourselves a motherfucking Joker on this show today.
No, I mean that's the exact quote.
All right, well, we almost had a Joker on the show.
Joe,
is that a Batman?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay.
All right,
What is the thing about?
Let's transition into talking about. Oh yeah, Ted Cruz is a fucking moron and an asshole and a piece of shit. Surprise! The fucking prize.
I watched that video of him trying to kiss his daughter today.
The pictures of him trying to help like the mutual aid and this like he's just like picking up a thing and being like, I'm doing something.
I'm doing praxis.
He's a garbage man.
Like fucking
tried to like throw his kids under the bus for like his own decision to be like, hey, my kids wanted to go on vacation. So I guess we had to go on vacation because I'm a senator
say no.
like ruled by like my kids.
Yeah.
And his daughter sold him.
Fucking A.
They say that, hey, it's cold. Maybe we should go somewhere warm. And I said, well, I guess you can't disappoint your daughters.
But you leave your poodle. Leave your poodle all alone.
He went on a podcast to vent about how he's butthurt that the press are being assholes to him because he was being an asshole.
Dude, he's a fucking politician.
And exactly. He said to a bunch of reporters at the airport, he's like, I'm just trying to be a dad, okay?
Oh, he's trying to be a dad. Oh,
he did leave his poodle.
Exactly.
I'm sad about that.
What's his poodle's name again?
Oh, I don't know. What's the name? We gotta find this out. We gotta have this.
It's like
I put my life on the line in Cancun.
When do children get to make decisions based on like what is going on? Like that wasn't my experience growing up. I had no say over what was happening.
You didn't get to have Tom Cruise, Ted Cruz. You didn't get to have either of those guys for a dad.
I didn't just get
Dude, the fucking dog's name is Snowflake. Oh my God.
That's right. Yes.
It was destined, I guess.
It was.
Decide we were going to Cancun.
Well,
I didn't know we could do that.
20 years, it's been the only fucking snowflake in Texas, except for all the conservative snowflakes.
Hey.
Would we like to talk about mutual aid now?
No, wait. I wanted to do the space story.
Oh, talk about space, and then we'll get into it.
Oh, yes, space.
I'm not entirely happy with the recording here, so I'll try and do a better job of explaining. The life cycle of a star is largely dependent upon the abundance and composition of the raw material it has to feed on. Some stars get very massive, burn very hot, and end their short lives in a spectacular fashion. Others may burn slowly at lower temperatures for many billions of years. When a star is burned through its fuel, having fused the lighter elements into progressively heavier elements until the core is made of iron, the inward pressure exceeds the outward pressure and the star implodes. The collapse of the star's core is followed immediately by an explosion of the star's less dense outer layers. Depending on the star's mass, this cataclysmic event might leave behind a so-called white dwarf star, a stellar mass black hole, or the intermediate neutron star, a sphere of neutrons packed so tightly that a spoonful of the stuff would weigh as much as Mount Everest. The key terms in this segment are globular cluster and gravitational waves. There is an unfathomable number of ways in which matter gets concentrated throughout the cosmos, but humans have done their best to classify these configurations over the years. Astronomers can infer from observations that our Milky Way galaxy is similar to other spiral galaxies. The visible matter is arranged approximately in a disc shape, with the spiral arms, bands of stars and dust, orbiting around a central supermassive black hole. Speckled throughout the galaxy are structures called globular clusters, very dense nodules of what appear to be ancient stars.
I was going to make another Men in Black reference. Like in the Marvel, they got they're.
Did you already make a Men in Black
Yes,
reference?
I've made that reference a few goddamn times.
I'm just being oblivious again. Oh well.
Recently, astronomers took to analyzing the data from a nearby globular cluster called NGC 6397. It had been generally accepted that this structure likely harbored an intermediate mass black hole at its center. Such a black hole would weigh between hundreds and tens of thousands of times as much as our own sun. shepherding the surrounding stellar bodies toward a singularity in spacetime. What the astronomers saw, however, indicated something different. In analyzing the velocities and trajectories of stellar remnants near the core of this cluster, it was determined that the bodies were moving in an essentially random fashion, hinting at the existence of a swarm of smaller black holes rather than a single medium-sized black hole. This analysis potentially solves one cosmic mystery, the overabundance of gravitational waves, while deepening another. Gravitational waves were first proposed by none other than Albert Einstein, and would, if observed, further validate Einstein's famous theory of general relativity. Starting in the 1990s, the National Science Foundation funded construction and continued development of the Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory Experiment, or LIGO, to do just that. Gravitational waves are, in essence, light-speed perturbations in the fabric of spacetime, resembling ripples in a pond. Interactions between very massive astronomical bodies.
Sounds hot. Very massive bodies merging.
Interactions between very massive astronomical bodies, such as the merger of a neutron star and a black hole, create a stretching and contracting of spacetime which, by the time it reaches us on Earth, may be nigh impossible to detect. LIGO was finally able to confirm this phenomenon in 2016 by matching simultaneous detections at different facilities with a visual flash of light originating 1.3 billion light-years from Earth. However, as the sensitivity of the testing apparatus was increased, gravitational waves were detected much more frequently than had been expected. If the black hole swarm at the center of NGC 6397 represents a small slice of our stellar neighborhood, interactions involving smaller black holes may account for those additional observations of gravitational waves, thereby potentially solving one mystery. The mystery of the supermassive black hole, however, is only deepened. Evidence of intermediate mass black holes would serve as the, quote, missing link between smaller black holes and the supermassive black holes, present at the center of galaxies like our own. Further validation of Einstein's theory paradoxically strengthens the illogical conclusion that supermassive black holes appear to be more ancient than the universe itself.
Have you heard about that, like that thing, that like possible spaceship that's been flying around? Like the long black cylinder thing that they don't know what the fuck it is? Did someone mention that on the show?
Long black cylinder?
Yeah, it was like an asteroid that went really close to Earth or something, and it was like really like
it was getting closer to Earth and then suddenly it turned.
That's right, I remember that. And they were like, is it a spacecraft?
Oh, yeah. Oumuamua. It was thought to be like it was thought to be like a very elongated interstellar something. It was sort of up in the air, whether it was a comet or if it was like an asteroid or whatever. It was extremely reflective on one face. Like it was only extremely reflective in one orientation. And because of this, it was thought that it was either very flat and long, or like a comet had like a reflective trail of crap that was flying off of it, because, you know, the tail of the comet is sort of the giveaway. But they weren't identifying the compounds that normally comets emit in that trail of debris. So it was sort of a question, like, is this some kind of a alien solar sail or something like that?
Is this a pooping spaceship?
But I also saw a very good theory to explain this. And what happens when you take some kind of rocky astronomical body and subject it to extreme tidal forces, it kind of breaks up, but it gets stretched out. It gets elongated in the process, and you end up with a bunch of parallel slices, basically, of rocky material or whatever other kind of material it's made from, you know, and it looks like one solid chunk. And we didn't exactly have the resolution to be able to determine whether or not it was one piece or a series of other pieces. So it could have just been basically an asteroid that was breaking up because of the gravitational forces that were being exerted upon it. Or it could be an alien. I don't know.
Motherfucking alien. This has been Star Talk.
Why not both?
Why not?
Okay, it was an alien that got stretched out.
It's an alien that's driving that stretched out.
Shiny alien.
Alien partially spaghettified by black hole, but escaped at the nick of time and is, I don't know, coming to us to warn us.
This is the most plausible explanation.
Man, the world must be really weird.
Wait, words of what?
About black holes and how dangerous they are.
warn us of whatever we want to.
And
I mean, all like the
most likely.
evangelical people can use it as something to be like they're warning us about the impact of letting women have abortions. Oh my God, the aliens know. They're telling us.
They kill babies.
Know what that
trying
is?
to stop us before it's too late.
Fucking.
That would fucking suck.
Too much women's liberation. How dare you?
We made contact with aliens and found out they were like.
They're like, abortions, nah. Like, wait, what?
We come to you from the planet Xenon, where we don't ever kill our babies, ever.
That reminds me of the thing about the Church of Satan.
They're somehow Mormons also.
Church of what now?
That would explain
I was thinking
Mormons are aliens.
I get the different Satan things mixed up. Is it the Church of Satan or I think it's Church of Satan is the one.
There's the Church of Satan and the Satanic Temple.
Oh, we need my brother for this conversation.
Which is the one that is like the not really religious one, but I don't know.
Satanic Temple.
Okay, yeah, that one. Yeah, they I forget what state it was in, but they were I think they were trying to do a lawsuit to say
that was in Salem. That's where that's where like the OG.
Yeah, they were suing Netflix.
Temple is.
But I mean, I don't think it was in Massachusetts though, because it was in one of the states where they're like trying to make like the basis of their lawsuit or something was that that their members who want to go through their abortion ritual are being impeded from doing so because of ultrasounds and the forced ultrasounds and the what do you call it? Just the general lack of availability of abortions.
That was here. That was a federal lawsuit.
Oh,
they
it
basically
was?
sued. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I heard about it.
Too funny.
Okay.
It's like one of those weird political alignments that's like, it's like when the Juggalos do something cool. It's like, yeah.
No. They do it specifically. It's like trolling, but good, where they're like, it's like the same ones who are like, well, I want to put a statue of Satan in the state capitol building, along with all the other menorahs and the Christmas trees. And then the Christians are like, man, you can't do that.
I don't know if I would say it's troll. Like,
I don't know what to call it. Yeah, the trolling's not maybe the right word.
It's using bullshit conservative
bullshit against them.
It's using conservative loopholes against conservatism.
Yeah, I really like that.
It is kind of trolling, but also at the same time, like, they do have an ideology, which I don't necessarily agree with because it's a little bit more libertarian than. But that's cool. Fuck it. If you want to, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to say anything.
We ride with the devil. Ride with the devil.
You guys, I have an important announcement. My cat, who many moons ago started sitting on this piece of bubble wrap that was on the floor. So we decided to make her like a little bubble wrap throne, but then she abandoned it for like a month. But now she's sitting on it again.
Oh,
just thought you should know.
Or King, I don't know what the
in post. I'm going to put the breaking news just down thing in.
Yes.
It's very dramatic. Like, oh, Justin.
Arya has returned.
Breaking news.
Justin.
Bam.
The queen is back. She's staring.
Guys, we got a new development here.
Oh, speaking of cats,
bam.
Did I show you guys the stupid cat translation app that I got?
What?
You Discord.
Yeah,
I think you did.
Put a picture on the Discord.
By it because I was half awake when I saw it, but I still don't really get it.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be bullshit. I really haven't looked into it, but earlier. I don't know, earlier she meowed and it was like, something hurts. And I was like, really? You seem fine. But then Josh said that a minute later, she hacked up a giant old hairball. So maybe she was actually in discomfort.
Sounds like cat astrology.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably actually, no, it's probably less effective than astrology.
All right, that sounds like
why
cat
do astrology in the
trickle down
place,
economics.
We're get to that.
What, Joe?
I don't understand why people do astrology. I don't understand it. I'm confused, but
vaginas.
I'm indifferent.
Yes.
I don't know.
That's why.
Ovaries. That's why.
Why?
We did talk about we did talk about this, not on the pod, but
why do people do socialism?
There is now scientific evidence that men and women both have their internal clocks synchronized with the cycle of the moon. And this is regardless of whether or not they are in an environment where there's a lot of light pollution, or whether or not they're in a particularly like quote unquote developed society. Has nothing to do with how much manual labor they do or don't do or anything like that. It's just a trend across all of basically human civilization. We are intrinsically linked to the moon somehow. So I will freely admit I was fucking wrong when I said I thought it was a bunch of bullshit. I admit it. I was wrong. I admit I'm wrong sometimes.
You learned a thing. Jesse learned a thing.
Wrong sometimes.
Indifferent to it.
You made a mistake.
One of that day's lucky 10,000.
Wrong. It was wrong.
The moon is cool, y'all.
The moon.
The moon.
The moon.
The moon.
Hey.
Okay, cool. Let's keep doing things today here on the show.
This is gonna suck to edit. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well,
do you have a thing? Do you have a thing that can't be made up? And should we do that first or what?
I do.
Yeah.
I did see a thing about how there was like a bomb-sniffing dog found like $2.8 million of cocaine in like a cereal box.
That dog rocks, and that cereal box is awesome.
The dog's high as fuck.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah, man.
The dog has some very interesting business ideas it wants to share with you.
The dog fucking loves Neil Peart.
Yeah, I can do the thing. Do you want me to do it? You guys want me to do it? You want to do it?
Thing.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we'll end the show with a discussion about mutual aid. Go off. Oh.
Okay.
You can make this shit up with Comrade.
This week, unfortunately, it's not a very fun, happy one this week. There's just no monoliths or any shit like that. It's more in the realm of depressing and annoying. But let's see here. So the headline, that's the word. The headline is Sheriff's Office offers Valentine's Day quote-unquote special for exes, which basically, and again, I just have to hand it to these fucking AP reporters who like choose the best phrases that they're just like completely jacking off to after they get published. You can just see it. So this says, a North Carolina sheriff's office is giving people a chance on Valentine's Day weekend to show their former lovers they're still wanted by turning them in if they have outstanding warrants. And, oh God, the Nash County Sheriff's Office is offering what it calls a Valentine's Day weekend special. This is a couple weeks old, obviously, which it described as a special too sweet. I can't even read this. It makes me too nauseous.
I can read. I'll read it. I can do it.
It reminds me of the Christmas tree.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, with the thugs. There's Thug Thursday or whatever. Yeah, Jesse, can you read?
Jesse, would you like to read it?
Yeah, if the fucking... I can't remember what the keybind is again.
I can read it.
Yeah, or let me read it. Whichever.
Can we start with the second paragraph?
Yeah.
Okay. The Nash County Sheriff's Office is offering what it calls a Valentine's Day weekend special, which it describes as a special too sweet to pass up. The offer posted on its Facebook page includes what the Sheriff's Office described as a set of limited edition platinum bracelets, free transportation with a chauffeur, and a one-night minimum stay in our luxurious 5-star accommodations. It tops the offer with a special Valentine's dinner. Operators are standing by, says the post at the end, which includes a picture of a rose next to a set of handcuffs. Some reactions to the post praised the idea as brilliant and hilarious, and one person suggested whoever came up with the idea deserves a raise. The News and Observer of Raleigh reports others did not find it funny. Nothing like making a joke about people's freedom, one commenter posted.
That commenter has big dick energy.
I kind of love that, like, we now live in an era, and I'm wondering when this era began, where, like, to be a credible journalist, you have to include in your article, like,
people said in the comments. You
know, like, you have to, like, summarize the comments.
Wasn't that like
late 2000s?
The Lindsey Graham guy, like, quoting, like, Yelp reviews or whatever the fuck he did?
I remember that.
What?
Yeah.
Somebody on Yelp gave me 2 stars.
He was like, there's 2 stars here, 2 stars here.
Hair
and it was like, where is he getting these reviews from?
Wait. They used her Yelp reviews against her?
Yeah, no, sorry, it was Glassdoor. The Glassdoor reviews of like.
Oh yeah,
that's still disturbing.
Which just means nothing. Like that means nothing. Like
it's kind of funny. That was 2
this
stars.
One says, Lindsey Graham,
2 stars out of 5.
You are a dipshit, and you smell. Well, that's not very nice.
Also, this website reminded me that Daft Punk broke up. R.I.P.
That's right.
Do one of you want to talk about that?
Yeah, they were great.
Look here, this one says 4 stars. Hello, Lindsay, you're my favorite uncle. I mean, politician.
You've got an ugly face and a big butt, and your butt smells, and you like to kiss your own butt. Will you
please stop calling Mom a prostitute? Well,
the best Daft Punk tribute I saw on Instagram was a thing that was like R.I.P. Daft Punk, and then it had like a picture of like one of those little Sony Aibo dogs and like some other robot dog.
I saw that. I saw one that was just 2 like hand dryers in a bathroom. I saw one that was Crow and Tom Servo.
Yes.
Yeah, that one was really good.
Oh Lord.
I saw it was a fake headline where it's like Daft Punk breaks up after finally figuring out how to get out of their masks, and it's like a quote. It's like, "There's a little latch on the back. See, we finally found it."
How do they eat?
They're a great band. Those French weirdos in the robot masks. Put music in your life. Put life back in music. Would we like to talk about mutual aid?
Sure, we can do that.
Do it.
All right.
Just kidding.
Do it. What is mutual aid?
Energy. I don't have the energy for this.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm okay. I'll carry this section along with Sarah.
I'm about to fall asleep at this point.
Joe, you can go to Nappy Betty
more
Bye.
Reading.
Yeah,
Joe, go to Betty Bye. It's okay. We love you.
Sweet kisses, sweet dreams.
I need a Ritalin to get through this.
Joe, you can go to.
As long as you snore peacefully and Jesse can turn your audio down.
As long as the snoring isn't sleep apnea.
This sucks. I can't think everything that
sleep apnea.
All of my thoughts are now in Lindsey Graham's voice.
Yes. Do the entire segment.
That's your punishment for too many voices this episode.
Oh no!
God damn
It's stuff like that. Literally, it's your mom always. It's what mom always says. It's like
it's gonna get stuck that way.
Feel stuck like that.
Get stuck in Lindsey Graham voice.
All the unfortunate voices.
I am become Lindsey Graham.
We could just do the rest of the episode in Lindsey Graham voice.
In Lindsey Graham's voice.
So Sarah, you are
mutual aid.
Joe, I might join you and go to sleep.
We will do this section in a voice of Sarah's choosing because
no, I can't.
Mutual aid.
Yeah. So
yes.
In which
you help
aid is distributed mutually among the community.
That was your cue. To
okay, stop, dude. Seriously.
I can't
improvise.
Wait, are you in ABMA with Jesse? Is that the mutual aid group that you're in?
Yes, I am. ABMA is
yes.
Allston-Brighton
This is my comrade.
Allston-Brighton Mutual Aid. Okay, cool.
Jesus Christ.
What do you guys do? You guys talk to people.
We just get people
Allston-Brighton Mutual.
So here, that's my question.
What's your question?
Oh my god.
Are you the sober person left on this call?
Solidarity.
Did you know that Allston-Brighton is actually conservative?
No, I did not, Scott.
So there's that.
I retract the. Well, so is Lindsey Graham.
This is like a thing I really like talking about, but also I can't get over the voice. It just doesn't sound like Jesse anymore.
I'm sorry.
God, do you have any sound drops that will cleanse our minds? Can you play that about 8 more times? I'm drifting. Okay. I'm into Alex.
Boy.
I'm into Alex Kamal from The Expanse.
Boy, he's thick.
Oh, there you go. That's gonna make it worse.
Boy, damn.
That is a thick ass.
Thicker than a bowl.
Jesus, stop. Fantano is the fucking bomb, dude. That's the hardest thing I got.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna have
There's
to
no
try
video
harder than
of
that.
President Trump sucking a ding dong.
sucking a ding dong.
And so what if they're what?
So what if he dated?
So what if he is gay?
I'm a liberal.
Never
I think
sucked any
capitalism is good.
ding-dongs.
Oh gosh.
So what if I sucked a dick?
Guys.
Okay, there we go.
God.
You play that one a few more times, I'll be okay.
We need Randy Rainbow to save us. Now that's the atomic bomb.
Save me, Randy!
He made a song about fucking
It's working.
Marjorie Taylor Greene that's like fucking astronomically worse than anything else he's ever done.
Okay.
You can find it on my web store, Brain Force. So what if I sucked a dick?
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
Taylor Green?
Randy Rainbow.
Randy Rainbow's new song is about Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it's particularly painful. He has like production value now.
Everything he does is painful.
Yep. Okay. So Jesse and Sarah are in Allston-Brighton Mutual Aid.
Brighton Mutual Aid.
All right.
We're getting there.
All right. Well, okay. Cut. Action. Have you ever wondered? Keep going. Have you ever been curious about how to get involved and help your neighbors? Well,
to help.
This is supposed to be calming, guys.
I can't take the music seriously.
My neck of the woods.
I have to mute myself.
All right.
Is any of this usable?
Oh, it's usable.
Oh, yeah.
Then, but
it's going to be the only part of the show that's usable. Fuck.
No, you actually can if you live in Allston-Brighton. You can call or email, right? How can people get in touch with you?
So, we have a website, abmutualaid.org. We also have a hotline. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but I'm
You
going
can find
to
it on
look
the
it up.
website.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And you can also email Allston-Brighton-Mutual-Aid@gmail.com. That's actually how most of our intake process commences. Either that, or you can text the hotline.
That does not make it easy to find this number. Well, maybe I should click on English.
I'm trying to look it up,
number
but I can't
is-
fucking remember what the hotkey is.
Yes, there is.
The number is 617-612-5059.
Again, that's 617-612-5059.
Yeah,
No,
so then
we've turned into a sports radio show.
617.
612.
Podcast, we already were. I mean,
5059. Yes. Are
You know,
you unable
put in
to afford or retrieve what you need due to COVID-19? They can connect you with groceries, prepared meals.
Wait, before you leave.
Sorry.
Okay, before you, I don't know if you're going to keep this in, but don't refer to the website. We're working on a lot of things right now. So I guess the kind of,
yes,
if we're thinking about like what the hierarchy of needs, because of COVID and stuff, because there's so many mutual aid groups that started specifically because of COVID and they like didn't have like stuff beforehand, we're on like the bottom of like that hierarchy. We're like, okay, people need food. Food is like the basic level of like survival stuff. So that's the main stuff that we kind of do.
Survival stuff.
Yeah. Look, man, it's 11 p.m.
I know.
But yeah, so like,
that's
that's like the kind of like the base level that we're at right now in terms of doing stuff. And doing stuff we are don't I think Jesse's southern voice is infecting my brain too.
This is why we can't have nice things.
I know.
Well, the other thing we do is for people
I still
who
have
are
done
in
like
need of
weird like guitar music in my head and I can't get it out.
Same. What is the other thing you do, Jesse?
Turn it back on.
Well, the other thing we do is that we also give financial grants. So like, say that you don't actually need like groceries right now, or like you want us to pay for groceries, so that you can then use that money for something else.
Assistance.
What is he doing? I want to talk. This is really distracting.
So people can actually get like
just money, yeah.
Monies.
Like either Venmo to you or like cold hard cash. One of our volunteers will deliver the money to you personally.
And they don't have to pay that back, correct?
No, they do not have to pay that back.
You just get
Free
the
money.
Free monies.
Yeah.
That also that we have like you can do that through the same routes if you need groceries delivered or if you need like other items delivered. Like
today somebody like delivered like a bunch of clothing for some kids and also some like bed sheets and stuff. That was really awesome.
Yep, there was a point where volunteers gave people transportation to and from the laundromat. We actually did have somebody reach out that just needed some company, essentially. We handle referrals for people who are looking for like donations for clothing, children's toys.
And people who need help with other stuff, like getting in touch with like some tenant resources or any other kinds of things, because we can like kind of help people get in touch with whatever it is that they need help with.
The majority of the people that reach out to us are Spanish speaking, so most of us have had to heavily utilize Google Translate, but also, I mean, a lot of our comrades do speak Spanish, so we can bounce stuff off of each other to make sure we have everything like 100% squared away. Financial disbursements right now they had been maxed out at $50, but we have had several very successful fundraising efforts, actually, as of late. So one of the things that we utilize our general meetings for are to sort of gauge where we're at and adjust if necessary, like trying to project into the future how many deliveries we're going to be able to do before we need to replenish funds. There's a whole lot of shit that goes into it. What are our little subcommittees that we have now, Sarah?
The general roles people kind of get into are like doing intake, which is like, by the way, this is what my conversations with other people who do like mutual aid with like different groups in different like towns or neighborhoods and stuff like that. This is fairly standard, but there might be some differences. But you have like intake, which is say that you want to like do something for X number of hours a week at a certain time every week. That's more probably something that might be good for you. So that just means like manning the hotline or I don't know, personing the hotline. I don't know. And like responding to people who ask for help and also like helping people who do the deliveries get reimbursed and things like that. Any people who do deliveries, which is just like, you go out and you buy groceries, you pay for them with your own money, deliver to the person who asked for them, and then send their receipt back to us, and then you'll get reimbursed. And then besides that, the roles are a little less defined. It kind of falls under like general organizing, I guess. That's mainly what I do. But I do the groceries deliveries from time to time because I do find that it's a good like way to remind myself of like what it's all for if I'm ever like having a not so good day and I'm kind of like frustrated with something, not even just mutually, just with life, but it's like a good like reminder that even though like you're just working your little piece of something for the group, you're like it still kind of contributes to all this like really great stuff, like some like people like literally being able to like eat and survive and live, which is really nice.
Doing service is mutually beneficial. I mean, in multiple senses of the term. I mean, obviously it's called mutual aid, but it gives me personally a ton of gratitude because it definitely puts my struggles in perspective, but we get like really uplifting feedback from a lot of the people that we help. Like people literally pretty much on the verge of tears with gratitude. And it seems like a relatively small act of kindness. Really, it's just an act of solidarity. Like that's the primary difference between mutual aid and charity is that with mutual aid, we are serving our community. There is no distinction between people in our group and the people that we serve because we're just neighbors helping neighbors.
There's no ego in it.
Right. We're all just working class people. And if we can support other working class people, if we can help them meet some of their basic needs, then that strengthens all of us. We get a return on that because that means that they can be a part of society because they're not constantly crushed under the boot of capitalism. I mean, it's not like we can take somebody that's just suffering under abject poverty and like make them totally 100% okay, but we can fill in some of the cracks that the state's response have left. That was a weird way to put that. We can bridge some of the gap. That was a weird way to put that too. All right,
make it more okay.
We can serve people. We can serve people that have been left behind, basically, because there are people who apply for grants that do everything that they possibly have the option to do, the ability to do, and still are unable to get help through traditional means. So mutual aid allows us to help those people, and we don't have to do so through any kind of religious organization. In fact, we don't have any kind of hierarchy at all. When somebody leaves the mutual aid group, they don't leave a massive gap because we all share a small portion of responsibility for making sure the operations go smoothly. Some of us are kind of specialized in some stuff over other stuff. Like, for instance, I like to do the back end work. I also do intake shifts, but I am regularly maintaining like the Facebook group, doing moderation on that, passing along any needs to intake so that if somebody sends a message and says like, hey, I'm fucking really hurting right now and I'm going to get evicted if I can't get help with rent, we can pass that along. And if we have the resources to help that person out, we will try and do that. If we don't, then we will refer them to typically like CLVU is really good for Spanish speaking, and also like Creole. They have some Creole services, or they used to. I know for a fact because the first demo I went to that was affiliated with the DSA was a CLVU tenant. It was like a tenant union rally at Stony Brook. So if we can't do everything ourselves, we at least know somebody who can potentially help. And our ledger is completely public. Nobody makes a fucking cent. It is all completely volunteer. We try and figure out how to fill those time slots. Each intake shift is 3 hours. We
also have a really dedicated group of people doing all the grocery deliveries. And
yep, we have lists. Basically, if we get a request, we'll send some very basic information out, like no personal information, but basic information about where it is and the size of the delivery, and people will pick up the ones that they're able to do. And then once that person is able to commit to doing the delivery, then we send all the specific information about what the person needs and where and when to meet them. And if we can, get the deliverer in touch with the deliveree, the recipient. So there's a lot that goes into it, but there is no barrier to entry, literally none. We have students working with us. We have people that are like, hey, I've never done this before. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's great. On board. Like, come in, do whatever the fuck you want. Like, any help is awesome. Like, we love you. Hop on board. We'll show you how to do some of this shit. If you need help, we are here for you. People can kind of come and go as they please, but honestly, like, I'm probably unfortunately, like, one of the longer term people, not because the other people that I organized with got sick of the thing and left. Like, they moved, they had to move, but I'm still in touch with them. They showed us the ropes. You know what I mean? I'm grateful to them. I have absolutely no ill will towards any of them. They are all comrades, whether from a near or from afar. I don't know if that's the way to say that, but I just said it. So fuck you. Yeah.
Pretty good. Super good.
Pretty good. Mutual aid. So fuck you.
Yeah. That's the message that we want to say.
I was listening to the Tron, the Daft Punk album, the Tron soundtrack they did, and made everything you said much more exciting than it probably would have been on its own.
Yeah, well, sorry. Sometimes it's not as... It was, what was it? Around the time of right after the election, I decided to go to a thing, and somebody was there who was more experienced with things, was like, yes, meet me up there. I'm wearing black, and I have a red backpack. And I was like, can you be more specific? By thing, I mean like March thingy after the election. And then they were like, I talked with them for a bit, and the vibe I kind of got is that, like, yeah, the mutual aid stuff, I guess, is like, I don't know, I guess you can consider it to be more boring if you want to, like, use a pejorative about it. I mean, maybe it's not as exciting to some people because it's not like a protest, or it's not like I don't know, whatever exciting other things that people do. But, like, if I could find it, I'd look at my book, which is Mutual Aid by Dean Spade. And I'm trying to find a section in it which is about saying that there's, like, a lot of stuff that kind of goes into organizing that is sort of like
Dean Spade,
kind of the back end stuff, like what Jesse just said, where it's kind of like, and also kind of things, I guess, that might be like, I'm not going to be able to find it, which is a bummer, but it had some interesting stuff about, like, how there's a lot of background work that goes into these things that
I would reframe it as, like, it doesn't speak to, like, the id. You can't, like, march around, like, doing, like, fucking AK-47 chants. But, like, you get immense emotional reward from being able to help other people. It's just like sometimes it feels like work, and sometimes it just feels like you have empathy for other humans and like you can actually do something to benefit them. But you're not like a soldier, you know? Although that's kind of what I would fucking, that's the last time that I referenced people in my mutual aid group. I think I call them like mutual aid warriors or something, because we put our fucking heart and soul into this shit sometimes. It's can be stressful, but like it's only stressful if we forget that we have the support of a bunch of comrades who can help us out and also like pick up some of the slack if we're not able to give 100%. And I think that's also a part of organizing, especially in mutual aid groups, is like to be able to have an outlet where we can be like, hey, yo, this is stressing me the fuck out. Like, can you please take over for this? Or I'm going to have to start working at this time. Like, we're going to have to figure out how to fill these gaps. And like, that's okay. You know what I mean? This isn't, one of the great things about it is that you don't have a boss. Nobody's making you do shit. You're doing it because it feels good and because you're helping people and because that's what praxis is. Praxis is theory and action. And theory and action means that we don't just sit around saying like, oh yeah, you know, proletarian revolution would be great. It's saying, okay, well, how can we help people?
Yeah, it's like, it's not just like, you know, anarchy and anarchism are not these violent extremist things that the powers that be are trying to convince you that they are. Like, this is what they are. Mutual aid is anarchy.
Yeah, or you can also just go into it like me and just, I don't know, I guess I joined it because I was like, just ever since I was like fairly young, I was just, I guess you could call it like a very simplistic like worldview where I was just like, if bad things are happening to people, we should like make them not happen anymore. We should help them out.
But that's the problem. Is like that's totally logical.
I know it is.
That's a very normal instinct to have, and I think we've been taught for so long to suppress that instinct.
Yeah, I guess there's just so long people saying like, oh, well, we can't do that because of the inflation or the GDP or the unemployment rate, or I don't know. I'm just like, I don't get it. Can we just make it better? But also, I fully do not have.
What about the federal funds rate? It's like, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't really care. Like,
also, it's like all these arguments are couched in like, oh, well, the economics say this, and it's like basic economics 101 is everything you just said is wrong.
It's just the kind of thing where I just don't care. Like when I first like had my first like adult job, like full time like salaried thing, and I had to like pick my 401k. I was just like, I just don't care. Like, what do I do with it?
I was like, boop, boop. I was just like poking, looking at the booklet.
Isn't the planet gonna die before I retire? Like, why do I care? Or like, and then my friend was
myself that like once a month, like, why do I aggressively micromanage the thing that I don't even think I'm going to be able to use?
Yeah, but
it's like a serious cognitive dissonance I have to struggle with.
Yeah. Also, this is more of an anecdote or a tangent, I guess, but like I'll feel like a lot of times in my life I'll have good intentions for things, and maybe this is the ADHD where like I'll be procrastinating on things, even things that I want to do. So like, for example, a few years ago, I really wanted to go to the gym. I just didn't have any like energy to do it. And then something fairly dramatic happened in my life, which then caused me to start going to the gym to cope with the stress, or like almost as like a weird, like, not like self-harm. I wasn't hurting myself. It was good. It was good stuff. Like, you know, going to the gym is good for your brain. But like, started going for like a reason that was not that great. I almost kind of did the same thing with mutual aid because beginning of the pandemic,
very much like an ADHD thing. I'm doing X thing, but for all of the wrong reasons.
Yeah, but then I went to the gym for like a full year, so that was great. But then now and it's deadlifting though. But
yeah,
damn.
NA is the same way. Like we say, it doesn't matter how you got here; it just matters that you keep coming.
Yeah, but the thing is with the mutual aid, what happened is that like short story is that like my dad has gotten fairly like radicalized to alt righty sorts of things in the past like 4 years, and so then I had to so like I was in school though for almost the past 4 years, which was probably good. I was in Canada also, which was also nice. Came back beginning of pandemic. I was living with them for like a month and a half. Beginning of June happened, so all the George Floyd stuff was happening. Realized that my dad has some like racist ideas. Stuff got really intense with him talking about Antifa and stuff like that. And so when I moved to Boston, middle of June, I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go find Antifa and I'm gonna go join them just to fucking prove it to my dad. Yeah. And I was trying to find, not really, but it was just more like that was, I guess, was part of it, I guess. But it was something that I wanted to do anyway because I had already known that like this was kind of stuff that not like mutual aid exactly because it wasn't as popular before the pandemic, but like this is the kind of thing that I wanted to be doing. This is the kind of stuff that was important to me to like kind of get more involved in the community. So yes, doing things that you wanted to do, but starting to do them for weird reasons. And I don't have any like theory or anything like that. Like I literally read the Mutual Aid book by Dean Spade, like started reading it like 2 weeks ago. And then like, I don't know, had like a Jimmy Neutron brain blast last week when we had the reading group about it. And that was really cool. But yeah, so if I can do it, then probably most people can do it as long as you are guided by an internal sense of justice, I guess. I don't know. Maybe justice a little bit. Yeah, justice is probably a good way to put it. But yeah.
Probably if you start doing it only because, like, out of guilt and you feel like you should or some shit like that, you know, if it's not right for you personally, that's not going to get you anywhere. I mean, it might get some other people somewhere, but, like, I don't know. Yeah, I think, like, fuck you, dad is a perfectly good reason to start doing it.
Spite's a prime motivator.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, honestly, though, like, most people are not going to do mutual aid and then be like, wow, this really feels like shit. I'm not going to do this anymore. Yeah, right. Like, it's generally a very rewarding experience if you're not trying to control it as much, you know? I think that's kind of the irony of the whole, like, oh, Antifa, like, they're so radical and dangerous. And it's like, nah, like, we're, like, feeding people, you know? Like, sometimes I wish it was, like, throwing Molotov cocktails and fucking just, like, donkey kicking Charlie Baker in the face. But I can't do that every day.
Wish.
On the other hand...
Only on Wednesday.
Just doesn't fit my schedule. Not that I want to do that. I don't know. I'm scared of throwing at the Molotov cocktail at something that, I don't know.
In the financial district. That's my fucking dream, yo. I want to throw a Molotov cocktail in the financial district. Parody.
Jess, you remember the beginning of the pandemic when I said, like, somewhat jokingly, like, if I ended like dying from COVID because I had to go to work, like, this is like when the lockdown started, like, could you do me a favor and like throw a Molotov cocktail at like the financial district for me?
Politicize my death.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, seriously, like, I'm at the point where I am genuinely, like, I would rather fucking die on my feet than live on my knees because the shit is absurd. Everything is so absurd. The amount of wealth stratification, like, we don't have to be accelerationists to witness accelerationism. And if
society owns less than 20% of the wealth.
If helping people is considered radical, then for Christ's sake, we are
doomed as a species.
Foregone conclusion here, yeah.
If any of you
gets COVID and dies, we will get a tank and we will shoot your name into the windows of the Fed building.
But tank dough.
But tank dough.
Tank dough.
But tank dough. Not dough.
But tank dough.
But tank dough.
not me. But plastic my name is the reserved
but tank dough.
No.
But tank dough.
But tank.
Going off of what Jesse said about like kind of like I had a moment where you guys were doing that thing where I like first I lost it, like, okay, I don't remember who I'm replying to, but I still remember what I was saying, and then I forgot what I was going to say like a second after that, which was very unfortunate, but I remember it now because I have my notes in front of me. I have like 5 pages of handwritten notes that I took when I was reading this book. Anyway, the good thing about the mutual aid stuff as opposed to like charity is that it's, well, I guess the main problem with charity is that like the example this book gives is that like, okay, like celebrities have like their like pet charity project. It's like this is their thing that they do, and it's like, oh, isn't that so nice? We're like, I don't know, giving the koalas like chlamydia shots or something, which is good. They have like chlamydia, right? Or I don't know.
Oh yeah,
like,
they got chlamydia. Do they ever? They have so much
fucking koalas.
But it's like just like things that are good, the good things, but like are kind of not like connected to your life. you kind of, it's like, oh, well, my life feels crappy, but like at least I can, maybe I can make the world a little better by donating this money or whatever to something like halfway across the world that I will never like see the benefit of. Not that those things aren't important, because those are like things that are definitely good. But if you only do those things, you're kind of feeling really like lifelessly disconnected from what you're doing, because you're like, well, I didn't see it happen. I'm not really like, it's contributing to the atomization of our society, where you kind of are like, it's the kind of thing where it's like, oh, I don't know who I could talk to like on my street who can help me with something, but I can like call like my mom, who's like a 30-minute drive away. Maybe she could help me. Oh, that's a bad example because that's family. But you know what I mean? Like where it's like you kind of like feeling less connected to like your like local surroundings, and feeling more connected like over the internet, which is, internet's good.
We are very conditioned to live individualized.
Isolated.
Atomized. But yeah, that's why mutual aid is good, because it's like, it's stuff that kind of goes against that like entropy, or maybe it's forced entropy, I don't really know. But like entropy of like society to becoming more atomized, and saying like, no, I am gonna like talk to these people, I am gonna like work together with people locally, and we are gonna like do something that is like making the causes that we're supporting like an actual like things that are actually part of our lives. So it's not like something like, oh, I did something for somebody like all the way over another country. Like I did something like in my community, just making it part of like your life. So it's like you're doing justice every day or every week, and building it into the fabric of everything you do. That's the nice things that the book says. At least there's various levels of implementation.
You're kind of like weaving that class solidarity into the fabric of your existence. Like,
exactly. That's what I was trying to say by repeating something different about 3 times than what I just said.
It's like if you're constantly in the shit, then you're getting firsthand experience of the struggle, but you're also, it's the only way you can be like 100% certain that the solution is being carried out in a way that like comports with your values. And for me, those are like Marxist humanist values. And I know that I have the most...
Love to hear it.
Like I have the greatest capacity to support people in my immediate area, because like this is where I live, you know? It's not like I just give my money to somebody else and hope that they're going to do the right thing with it. It's, you know, I do I've donated plenty of money to ABMA. In fact, I think I said this on the podcast last week, but I encourage my relatives or my mom, because the other ones are dead.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Because I encourage anybody to donate to ABMA or mutual aid groups, because like,
not to them being dead, but your mom.
Bit of a lag there, cool. Unfortunately.
It's cool. It's just like nobody can use the organization, you know, to get like a tax break. You know, they either participate in it or they don't. And it's one of those things where like you definitely get out of it what you put into it. Usually more. Definitely more.
You know, I think the reign is actually a lot like communism. When you think about it, at first it sounds really nice, but once you actually get out into it, it is even better!
Preach, Bordo. Pray
for that one to happen.
Hell yeah. You like that one, Joe?
I'm waiting for you to do it. You do that usually in that context.
Yeah.
Socialism is when the government does stuff. And it's more socialism, the more stuff it does. And if it does a real lot of stuff, it's communism.
Who is the guy in that one who's talking?
Richard Wolff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
The big dick wolf.
It's really the music in the background that does it, though.
I have to revise an earlier statement I made. I said that comment at the end of the article that Ellie shared was big dick energy. But I've already, in previous episodes, have established big dick energy can't do it. Gets you in trouble. You trip over your own dick.
We're all about average dick energy.
Medium dick energy. Medium dick energy is where it's at, yo.
Medium style.
Yeah.
Yep.
Grower, not shower energy.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, not because I have any personal
Dude, it's just compactness.
Just excited about somebody saying that.
That's quite a word.
Yeah. It's like spatial efficiency. You know what I mean? You're not wasting pants space.
It's like those hoses that like collapse.
Yeah. That's an incredibly uplifting thing to hear.
Telescope.
Again, for no personal reason, just because, I just like to hear about. I wonder what it would be like.
Abstractly.
Yeah.
It's appealing.
Hypothetically, That's, yeah.
We should talk about mutual aid some more. Not today though. But
yeah, I would like to. I really do want to do. I want to do more. I want to be able to use this podcast to actually talk about Praxis. Rebel Steps is very good about that. I should listen to their podcast more. So yeah, here I go, just advertising other shit again.
Can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Joe, we can have nice things.
We have great things.
Mutual aid's one of them.
And we should have nice things because self-care.
Sorry to further the conversation.
Kiss.
God
It's getting late, folks.
Quite late.
Yeah, I'm fading, which I don't think I've ever done on this podcast.
Oh, shit. We should wrap it up then. Because Joe said he needs a little sleepy poo. At least
I've been up
tired.
about 5 a.m., so...
Oh yeah, fuck. I'm getting my vaccine tomorrow morning.
Oh shit. All right.
That's gonna suck.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
shit.
I need to get that vaccine.
It's bedtime now.
Yeah.
Please.
All right.
Speed time.
Everybody, you should go watch.
Comrade Scott tells you what to watch.
Everybody, you should go watch three parts of Italy. I mean, actually, fuck. What am I saying? It's the whole thing's on iPlayer. Go watch the new Adam Curtis documentary. Can't get you out of my head, or can't get you. Yeah,
it's on the YouTubes.
It's 3 parts are. The other 3 parts can't
my ass.
be watched in North America, so I had to then switch over to. Well, no, I just had to switch over to iPlayer because it's all just free on iPlayer. So
2 stars.
However, you
can't get you at.
Prefer to watch it. Honestly, what my big takeaway from it, and I didn't say this in my review on Letterboxd because I'm not about actually giving my opinion anymore, just quoting things.
That's the way I do it.
It's like it's the most thorough examination of ontology in the 20th century, basically. It is a perfect follow up to hypernormalization, where it is basically okay, what does that mean now? And what is that? What is the emotional pull of that? And what is the emotional landscape that we've created through this kind of false reality that we've created through the vectors of capitalism and all these various, multi-layered, as some people like to call conspiracy fact and all this stuff, It's probably one of his best work. It's pretty great. Loved it. Great music. That's it.
You suck his dick, Scott.
I mean, if he would, he has such
I never seen Scott suck a ding dong. So what if he did?
So what if he did?
He has such a pleasant voice. To describe the pleasure would probably be very nice to hear. So maybe, Adam Curtis describes a blowjob. I don't know. It would be great. Who knows?
Any of our comrades out there, if you want to suck a dick, you suck that dick.
So what if you do?
Just get permission first. That's
right.
Go for it.
All right, my name is Scott. I'm Sweaty Wife.
Sweaty Wife.
You can find me on Bandcamp and SoundCloud. Just search for Sweaty Wife. It's one word. If you can't find me, I don't know, bro. I'm also on Instagram at Sweaty Wife and on Twitter at Death Mullet. You can follow me at these various places. Whoever wants to go next. Actually, I think Sarah should go next.
I'm Sarah. You can't find me anywhere. Good night.
All right.
I don't have Twitter. I don't have Instagram that I use.
It's very healthy, yes.
I have Discord mainly, but
join Mutual Aid. You can find her on a Zoom call if you fucking join. So.
Yeah, you'll find me on every single Zoom call because I literally have nothing else going on in my life. Well, no, now I have some things, but not really. But I just have.
You can call her, ask her for money.
My life is nothing but.
I won't be able to call me. I don't do intake, but yeah, I just do nebulous organizing activities. But yeah, come join us. Come to the go on the website. Come and get involved. Come talk to me. I'll talk with you about it for ages. But I don't have anything to promote.
617. Shit, I closed the page.
That number won't reach me.
Just go to the fucking website, avmutualaid.org.
Didn't you guys say don't?
Yeah, I mean, you can go. The phone number's on there.
You can find basically if you go to any of our things, any of our socials, or our website or anything like that. It all kind of links together, so you'll find your way.
Yeah, that's kind of the nice thing about like Allston-Brighton is that it's there is no other. You're probably not going to find another Allston-Brighton. You might find another Allston or another Brighton, but you're not going to find the hyphenated Allston-Brighton anywhere else.
Problem is that this SEO doesn't like it that much. To have it hyphenated sometimes. We have with a slash in between it sometimes.
SEO 1 star. I can't get you out of my ass. I am Jesse. You can find my music on soundcloud.com/Contingence Boston. As always, remember to hit up comrade-rosie.org. Hit that Getting Involved tab. Select one or more mutual aid groups to donate your time, labor, and or money to. And for comrades in the Allston-Brighton area, abmutualaid.org. Peace.
Joe, what do you know?
What?
What do you know?
About yourself.
Pass out.
You've been
All
sleeping?
I know is that I know nothing.
Nice.
All he knoweth is he knoweth not.
Correct.
Correct. There was an Op Ivy reference I'm taking, right? Yes? No?
No, that's Socrates.
Yeah, my mom used to say, the fool thinks that he knows, the wise man knows that
You just had such an opportunity to be cool in my eyes, Joe, and you fucking blew it, buddy. It's okay.
Can't get you out of God's eyes. Sorry, Joe, I totally interrupted you. Where can we find you?
It's Aristotle. Who the fuck cares?
Aristotle.
Did you say who's Aristotle?
Christ. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you guys, since Joe won't, you can find his shit at JLFB.
I read the dramatics. Who's Aristotle? God, sorry.
You're not sorry.
Oh,
okay.
It's true.
Yeah, call the fuck it.
It's true.
You can find Joe on Twitter at JLFB96 or possibly 1996, I don't remember. And also Instagram at the other one of those, JLFB something 96.
That was the funniest thing all night.
See, right? This is what I said. Mutual aid is kind of boring if you're a very weird person.
Mutual aid, so fuck you.
Yes.
Honestly, I didn't hear anything before mutual aid. Fuck you. Because I was too busy
Mutual
laughing.
aid, fuck you.
All right.
Wait, I'm Ellie, and you
Thank you.
Can't find me anywhere.
I'm sorry. I should allow it to happen. It's fine.
It's okay.
We're very tired, folks. And as we say every week, but tank dough.
But tank dough.
Actually, we say that's Epoch.
We just started saying that today.
Yeah, we're going to start saying but tank dough, I've decided.
Well, you said like every week as if we've been saying that before.
But maybe we have.
Did Jacques even get referenced?
How would you know, Joe? You weren't here last time.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because you were busy sleeping.
Taking some knees.
Dork.
Busy recuperating your body, which has been worn down by your horrible capitalistic
I'm
job.
sorry.
Joe, okay?
We value you immensely. I don't know if that's clear, but like...
Someday we'll prove it to you.
Yeah.
But not if you won't believe us, because that's not on us.
Yeah. That's how friendship
I thought that was
works.
supposed to be some like segue into Christianity for a second there. What?
Some people
believe us.
About Jesus.
Joseph M. Smith. And that's... And
where did M. Smith part come from? That's
let
what
it
I
be
know.
done.
What?
Is that like randomly chosen, or is that just something of the understanding?
George Orwin.
Oh, yeah, you weren't here last week. That's why. Okay.
What?
Yeah. We went in, we discussed Joseph M. Smith. Visionary or
And Brigham
mentally
Young.
ill? Who knows?
Yeah. Mormons.
No one.
Jesus was from America.
Nobody can know because everybody just believed, for some reason, just fucking believed all
Nobody
the crazy shit that he
fact-checked
said.
him at all.
They're like, oh, this guy's...
As was the style at the time.
Clearly knows what he's talking about, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they sound.
What are we doing now?
Okay.
This is the part.
You guys, we're like, we're already done.
Tired.
You
we're
can
done?
leave. Yeah, you can leave if you want.
Yeah, you need to.
cent that we've been so grace.
So grace.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, it's like that's the kind of thing where I'm aware that some of the stuff that I'm doing is not very healthy, which is covered in the mutual aid book, which I will mention for the bajillionth time. I don't know why I have it in front of me. I raised up the book.
And if you're gonna stay in that one book over and over, I'm gonna do the same thing with Lenin's Imperialism, the highest stage of capitalism.
It's the one book I have that has
I'm gonna
like.
say it, and I'm gonna say the whole thing. I'm gonna say it like with the fucking because normally I just refer to it as imperialism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say it the whole length of it. I'm gonna say Vladimir Lenin's Imperialism: the highest stage of capitalism every time.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
I mean, it's the one thing I have a reference to because it's like it kind of made some of my help me to, like I said, I my thoughts are very bad. I can't like put my thoughts into words a lot, but this kind of was like, yes, these are some of my thoughts that I had in the book, and it was like, yes, these are thoughts. But
yo, you don't realize like how much you are like one of us. I don't mean to sound like a creepy like
no, you do, yeah,
juggalo like
creepy religious cults.
The scene in Freaks, yeah.
Come on, Scott. Some
it's
punch
super lame.
Actually, it was funny in the time that I was waiting for the first.
I can still hear you. You can keep talking.
I don't know. I just started laughing.